Hello BookTube, it's another day here in West Michigan. It is 6 o'clock in the evening. It's February the 22nd, and I thought I'd make a video since I did go to thrift stores today. I did go to north of town, found some books. All I've read today is Hunter S. Thompson. I mentioned this in my last video, The Proud Highway, Saga of a Desperate Southern Gentleman, 1955 through 1967, Fear and Loathing Letters, Volume 1. So I read that today. As far as my diary, February, I ended on page 163 today. So tomorrow, February 23rd, I'll be on page 164. So yeah, I went to thrift stores this morning. Well, I went to an office supply store, got some pens, and I got some paper and some computer ink. And then I went to thrift stores and I came home. I found these at the thrift stores today. I found Black Elk Speaks by John G. Neihardt. This is a book I mentioned. I just recently got a biography on Black Elk Speaks. This was first published in 1932. Then the University of Nebraska published it in 1961, and this was published in 1975. Black Elk Speaks, the legendary book of Visions of an American Indian. It's a classic. I wanted this to go along with the biography that I have down the lower level, so I was glad to find that. And then I found this biography on the explorer Richard Burton, who was during the Victorian times in England. It's called Highly Civilized Man Richard Burton in the Victorian World by Dane Kennedy. I have two other biographies on Richard Burton down the lower level. Richard Burton was one of Victorians, Britain's most Protenian figures, a soldier, explorer, ethographer, a polyglot of rare power, as well as poet, traveler, writer, and translator of tales of the Arabian Nights and the Kama Sutra. Burton exercised his abundant talents in a diverse array of endeavors. So best remembered as an adventurer who entered Mecca in disguise, who sought the source of the White Nile, Burton traveled so widely, wrote so prolifically, and contributed so forcibly to his generation's most contentious debates that he provides us with a singular panoramic perspective on the world of the Victorians. So I got that. And I found a novel by Umberto Eco, The Prague Cemetery. I think this is one of his last novels. And I found this volume of essays by Adre Alciman. He's a novelist, but these are essays. Alibis, essays on elsewhere. And then I found this crime novel by Andrew Vachss. I collected them. I didn't have this one. This is called Sacrifice. It's a picture of him. And I found a novel by Kate Atkinson I didn't have. I've been collecting her the last year. When Will There Be Good News? I found that. And I found this book published by Oxford University Press, The Hermit in the Garden from Imperial Rome to Ornamental Gnome by Campbell. It looks at the history of hermits, the idea of the hermit, hermits, the hermitage in Gregorian England. See, it has nice photos in it. Hermitages. And no. Found that book, Hermit, The Hermit in the Garden. I found this Jay McInerney Ransom novel. And I found this book, Drink, A Social History of America. This is like a social study on history of drinking in America. I found a book of poetry by John Berryman, The Dream Songs, complete in one volume edition of 77 Dream Songs, which he won the Pulitzer Prize for, and His Toy, His Dream, His Rest, which won the National Book Award for Poetry by John Berryman. And then I found this memoir, I think it's of a journalist, war correspondent, who wrote this memoir during the Bosnian War. It's a memoir. And I found this novel by, I can't pronounce her name, Bharati Mukherjee. She just died recently. I have this in paperback, but this is a nice hardback edition, Leave It to Me. So I found these today for our library. Something to add to the library tonight. Could take them down to the lower level. So yeah, I was kind of really excited to find that book about hermits. Hermits in the Garden. Looks brand new. I like books on hermits, eccentrics, bohemians, dandies, poets, freaks, writers, artists, misfits, nonconformists. So yeah, so I was really glad to find this book. So that's what's going on tonight. Like I said, now it's 6:07 at night here in West Michigan. I've been reading this all day, his letters. I've read several biographies. I've read a lot of Hunter S. Thompson. And so it's kind of like reliving what I remember reading in his biographies. Not much else going on here. I was supposed to get some books in the mail this week. So I'm hoping you're having a good Wednesday, and until next time, bye.